I-500. Some of the lap sponsors, leading, if you're leading at lap 10, the UP State Credit Union. Under the green here at the I-500.
And a 67 Nice Motorsports Polaris for Hoos Racing, Jordan Carlson, LJ Quigg, Gunnar Arlo in command. Here as we wind down the first stage, if you will, prior to the first plow break. And keep in mind, if we have no caution up to lap 100, then we'll throw the caution flag on that lap 100 for the plow break. But if we do get a caution between laps 90 and 100, we'll go ahead with the plow break.
Just watched Cameron Spencer bring that number 22 through that turn 1 and 2 area. Still looks to be maybe some handling issues. That machine involved in an early tumble and off that turn 2. Bent the bars, and I think something not just totally right with that one. These Spencers have a little bit of a problem getting that through that turn 1 and 2 area. A couple of machines running real slow down on the inside. That's that number 12 machine, Eric Churchill, Cameron Mash. Anakin Bozek, that machine had problems early back out, but running a little bit slower down on the inside of the track. 89 laps completed in the books. I'll run down your top 10 as they sit here after 89. Hoos Racing Polaris, the 67, your leader. Second spot is 57, Mickey Spackman Polaris. Third spot, the Barkey Racing 74. Fourth spot, the WV Racing Polaris. Fifth spot, that Nelson Racing number 28. Sixth on the board, the Town Brothers Racing Skidoo. Seventh on the board, that DL Racing 29. Eighth on the board, the Hatteen Heritage Racing Skidoo. I believe that's an Arctic Cat, sorry. Ninth on the board, the number 20 R&R Racing Polaris. And 10th on the board, back up into the top 10, that Turkey Racing number 55. Ryan McKay. That is your top 10 here after 90 laps here at the I-500.
So now, as we hit lap 91, should we get a caution between now and prior to lap 100, we'll go ahead with the first Chippewa Motors plow break of the day. Otherwise, we make it to lap 100 without a caution, then that caution flag will fly for that first plow break.
We got talking to a lot of the teams down in pit side here, and they talked about this year a lot of ice. We commend the volunteers that did a great job building this track, but 20 inches of ice and the warmer conditions leading up to today's race, they all figure that it's going to be what they call a true enduro, where we're going to see some pretty good humps and bumps out here in this track. Just watching Nick Wickerham now fight with that berm there as that DL 29 got up into there. And when you get up into those berms like that, the skis just want to slide and the back end get real loose on that before you get through that. That was the case with Wickerham there.
So we've had a windows fogging up issue for most of the morning up here in the Joe Bonnet Memorial broadcast booth, so someone's going to have to stop breathing up here. There is a lot of hot air coming from that side of the booth, just so you know. That's where Spanky Robinson is. Nah, we're kidding. No, it's just a combination of how cold it is outside. It's currently 4 degrees. Well, it's a comfortable 72 degrees up here in the broadcast booth, so a little contrast on these windows getting a workout, Andre Spanky.
Absolutely. Really nice to be able to call that race from this broadcast, the Joe Bonnet broadcast booth here. Continue to put down the laps here. We are lap number 93. We worked lap 94. And Jordan Carlson on that 67, and the Hoos Racing Polaris is your leader.
Getting ever so close. We've got a good stretch of green flag racing now for the last 22 laps. The main thing right now, Spanky Robinson, is get those laps under. Get that lap count up. Get those laps under your belt. To move forward to the next phase of the I-500.
Watching the action there now. There goes Ryan McKay down through there. Some pretty good bumps off that turn 2 there in the middle of that track.
That's a good battle there with Troy DeWall. and the 67 of Jordan Carlson. They made their way down the backstretch one more time, getting ever so close to that Chippewa Motors plow brake, number 1 of 4 today.
Interesting, when we used to race, Matt, we would watch for the graders to get fired up and the guys getting towards the graders, and that would kind of play into your pit strategy, that you knew that the graders were going to be coming out, and you never used to have a plan. You never knew when they were going to plow the track, so that was one of the things that we used to watch for.
And now the strategery, if you will, comes into play. They know the teams know the plow brake's coming at lap 100 or within 10 laps of that. So the crew chiefs can plan that, can kind of plan some strategy out a little bit. Maybe, and there's definitely going to be some rider swaps in this first plow break. It's working lap 95, 5 laps to go until that first Chippewa Motors plow break of the day. 96 in that time by.
Justin Tate down the back straightaway in that Nelson Racing player is currently 4th in the board. Watched him come down through here, and those bumps kind of standing up in the stirrups and absorbing those bumps with his legs there. It's interesting riding style that rider just went through that turn 1 and 2 area. Out on that the Bauer excavating number 19 now, I believe. Possibly Luke Krentz on there. We'll wait and see him next time by.
It seems kind of relatively early for rider swaps, if you will, here in the opening stages of the 57th running of the GFL Environmental International 500 Snowmobile Race, but it's not uncommon.
Boy, the back end, I just watched there behind the cake there as you get onto the brakes pretty hard under the bridge there, and that back end is sashayed back and forth. He's able to gather it back up and keep it pointed in the right direction, but really starting to see some pretty good bumps, as we always do under this bridge here. We usually generally see a pretty good bump developing here, but we've developed it early here. We're 97 laps in the books.
It's amazing to watch the transformation from blue ice to white snow, back to blue ice, back to white snow before eventually getting into the brown clay.
There goes our leader there. Carlson there now is pretty smooth run. He took a nice line as he went down through 1 and 2, and he heads down the back straightaway. Last lap, the 45.071 for that Hoos Racing Polaris. 45-second laps. We've seen some 42-second laps.
Yeah, 42.204, the best lap turn today. Just about ready to complete lap 99. Here as soon as that Hoos Racing Polaris crosses the start-finish line, and he does, that time by, there it goes. Jordan Carlson underneath the bridge in the 67, making his way down the backstretch in the midst of a plethora of lap traffic. Troy DeWald, second spot, 10.5 seconds back of that 67 Hoos Racing entry. Having a good run so far here in the early going of the 57th running of the GFL Environmental International 500 Snowmobile Race.
1 hour, 27 minutes since we've dropped the green flag here at the I-500. As they approach the lap 100 mark here, 99 officially in the books here, as Carlson will work at lap 100 on that 67. Second spot, the Mickey's Factory Racing number 57 of Troy DeWalt. Third spot, the 28 Nelson Racing Polaris, Justin Tate.
And we are at lap 100. Spanky Robinson, the yellow flag has come out as Jordan Carlson has crossed the start-finish line, our 9th Tour Oil and Propane. Yellow flag has come out. In the meantime, we're becoming aware that FloRacing is having some streaming issues. We encourage you to go to the FloRacing YouTube page. So for those that have friends or family that can't make it here, that are wanting to tune in, go to the FloRacing YouTube page to continue with live coverage here in the 57th running of the GFL Environmental International 500 Snowmobile Races. We have hit our first of 4 Chippewa Motors plow brakes.
Short Sports and Auto Pace Sled will pick up the field here now out onto the track as they'll pick up Carlson on board that your leader, the Hoosh Racing machine. And we expect we may see the plows come out here onto the track. And
we absolutely will here in just a little bit as we are at the first plow break. You know what that means, Spanky? Time for the Park Race Hardware plow break interviews. And our first plow break, go ahead, yeah, go shake hands first. Our first plow break interview of the day. He is the promoter of Kinross Raceway Park, about 20 minutes south of us in Kinross, Michigan. Mr. Chris Tom has joined us up here in the Joe Bonez Memorial Broadcast booth. Chris, as always good to see you, my friend. How you been? Now you've last year, the 2025 racing season there at Kinross Raceway Park, a good successful season for you guys. Tell us about it.
Absolutely, it was a great success for us. We ended up with quite a bit of support for our first annual touches for the Land that came up from Michigan Speedway and is up here now to us at Kinross Raceway Park, which is wonderful. We have a lot of support across the bridge, and we've got a big announcement coming up.
We sure do. But let's congratulate your track champions there at Kinross Raceway Park this year. As a great season in all the divisions, you know, the modifieds, the sportsmen, the ABC cars, the 4-cylinders as well. Just a great season, but now we look ahead to the 2026 campaign. Would you like the honors or shall I?
Either way, I think this is a good team effort. We worked hard in the off-season trying to get a lot of things in place. We are adding one big race this year for us, and we're going to actually have some super outlaw late models coming up. Go ahead, Jim.
Indeed we are. On Saturday, May 30th, the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series will make their first ever appearance in Michigan's Upper Peninsula at Kinross Raceway Park, located just 20 minutes south of us for the running of the Uper 100. It'll be race number 2 of the 2026 racing season for the Wedge Body Warriors of the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series. And these are the big dogs: Tyler Orrick, Steve Needles, Adam Terry, Phil Bozell. 2025 Brandon Ross Memorial Rookie of the Year, 14-year-old Bryce Bozell. 2026 Brandon Ross Memorial Rookie of the Year title contender, 14-year-old young lady from New Franklin, Ohio, Chloe Mazzagatti. They're all, and many, many more, are going to invade Kinross Raceway Park on May 30th.
Man, we're looking forward to it. I personally
It's going to be the first time, we've done our homework a little bit, it's going to be the first time in nearly 20 years that Outlaw Super Late Models have raced at Kinross Raceway Park.
That's outstanding. I'm so excited for this season. We've got another touring series that might be coming up too, so we're pretty excited about that one as well. We've got a race truck series that wants to come up, so we're going to add to that. We're kicking off the season with some supers. It's going to be
Indeed. So Saturday, May 30th, mark it on your calendar, the 2026 season opener at Kinross Raceway Park, just about 20 minutes south of us in Kinross, Michigan. It is the first ever appearance by the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Models. And again, we're talking about the big dogs: Tyler Orrick, Steve Needles, Phil Bozell, Adam Terry, the list goes on and on. We just know many of our friends to the north at Laird Raceway, they're going to come down and want to defend that Michigan's Upper Peninsula turf, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see George Wilson in Super again. Sir Chase will be there, Dustin Jackson, all those guys coming up from across the border. It's going to be really
What are the support divisions going to be there on May 30th?
Support divisions are going to be our modifieds and our ABC class cars. So we're going to have mods, racing 50-lap feature, and ABC cars, racing street features. That's the qualifying.
Very good. And they'll be highlighted by the Uper 100 for the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series, race number 2 on the 2026 schedule for the Wedge Body Warriors. Chris, we've been sitting on this for a couple weeks now. We've been so excited about getting the official announcement out. Well, now it's out, and the preparations continue. And my friend, it's not too far away. We're about 3.5 months away from going racing here at Kinross.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have cold weather and the snow for our 500 because I like watching it myself. But I'll be glad when this is done and over with and we can get rid of some of the snow so we can start check that race.
Well, Chris, you and Marie go enjoy the rest of your day here. Thank you so much for coming up and helping us out with a big announcement. And again, Saturday, May 30th, race number 2 of the 2026 racing season for the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series. First ever appearance in Michigan's, not only in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, but at Kinross Raceway Park, part of the 2026 season opener at your place.
Absolutely. So excited. Thank you guys. Thank everyone from Reveal the Hammer for getting us on the schedule. This is huge.
So there you go, Chris Toms. Thank you so much, my friend. Enjoy yourself, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend. And there you go. That's the big announcement we had here at our first Chippewa Motors Plow Break. The Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series will make their first ever appearance. And now, Spanky, we're going to talk about this just for a quick second before we bring Rex Wheeler in. But the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series is going to invade Kinross Raceway Park. Who would have thought, man?
Yeah, that's going to be extra special. So, yeah, that's great news for the local race fans here in the area. It's going to be a fun time.
Absolutely, it will be.
Do we want to give a quick rundown?
Yeah, let's go give a quick rundown, and we'll bring in Rex Wheeler, the owner-promoter of Owasso Speedway. But go ahead there, Spank.
We'll run down the top 20 for you here, and after 104 laps as the plows are on the track here. Currently on the board, your leader in that Hoos Racing, number 67 after 104. Second spot, the 57, Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris. Third spot, the Bunky Racing Polaris, that's 74. Fourth spot, the WV Racing Polaris, the number 44. Fifth spot, Nelson Racing Polaris, number 28, of Justin Tate. Sixth spot, Ryan McKay on board that Hershey Racing, number 55. Seventh spot, the Hateen Heritage Racing entry, the number 54. Eighth spot, that 41 WC Racing Polaris. Ninth spot, Ben Lungus on that 23, that Arctic Cat. Rounding out the top 10, the Novak Motorsports Polaris, the number 24. 11th, last year's champion, Dan Revering on that 18 Nelson Racing Polaris. 12th spot, the number 2, the Town Brothers Racing Skidoo. 13th on the board, Goddard Collision Skidoo, the number 21. 14th on the board, that Comus Racing Polaris, the number 8. 15th on the board, the number 10, Let's Go Racing Polaris. 16th on the board, the number 13, the local team of Piche Racing Polaris. 17th on the board, the number 20, R&R Racing Polaris. 18th, that number 29, the 18th on the board, the number 20, the R&R Racing Polaris. 19th on the board, as they change it here now on us. We'll wait for an update on that. That is your top 18 here after 105. We expect to see towards the end of this plow break, we expect to see these machines make their turn down pit road here, so we'll have to watch for that.
So in the meantime, at this time, as we'll get them here in the Joe Bonez Memorial broadcast booth, the owner and promoter of Owasso Speedway, Mr. Rex Wheeler, joins us up here in the Joe Bonez Memorial broadcast booth. And Rex, as always, my friend, always great to see you. And third year in a row you've been up here. You've now become the snowmobile expert, haven't you?
Just having a ball up here, Matt. This is it's still amazing though. Every time you come back, these guys are athletes and just nothing like it in the world.
No, these guys, I mean, these guys are true superstars from all forms of snowmobile racing. You've got the snowmobile endurance racers, the sprint racers, the cross-country guys, the snow cross guys. These are some of the best in the world. We got a former X Games winner, a former gold medal winner in the Olympics. You know, there's the best in the world right here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Absolutely. What a beautiful day, and a tribute to the I-500 team building this track this year. It just looks absolutely great.
So let's talk about Owasso Speedway coming up here for the 2026 racing season. will be your 4th year at the helm. Hard to believe it's been that long already, isn't it?
It's crazy, yes. Sarah and I are the 12th owners of the Wausau Speedway and leading into our 4th season. And I'll tell you, Matt, we're just excited today to get ready to start our 4th season as we were when we started our first. We're just having a ball.
And you've got a great schedule once again for the 2026 campaign. Tell us about some of the big events coming there to Old Michigan.
Boy, we don't want to take too much of your time because we got a lot of good ones there, but I'm really excited. You know, we got 3 Wednesday shows to bring in some big names and give us a Wednesday race, one in June, one in July, one in August, and then just a lot of wonderful, great races. We are doing things a little bit different this year, though. We're going to take 4 Saturdays off. We are finding between our staff and our people, you know, we got 3 years of data now to show us what are our strongest events with fans in the stands, and so we're going to take those holiday weekends off this year.
Now, one of the first bigger events you guys have, and you talk about the Wednesday shows, the first one, Wednesday, June the 3rd, the Race for the Million Wing Sprint Car Series. That's going to be a huge show there at Owasso Speedway.
Yeah, they've already, I think I heard maybe over 50 sprint cars already signed up for the first one in Florida in April. So, boy, we're just super excited to be part of that big event. That's definitely going to be one for the record books.
Yeah, the Race for the Million Wing Sprint Car Series starting on Friday, April the 10th down at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida, home of the Snowball Derby. And then the next race, at your place, Owasso Speedway on Wednesday, June the 3rd, but you got more specials coming, and we know some guy named Kevin Harvick and his son Keelan Harvick are going to come see you as well, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. Kevin and Keelan's both going to run the Master of the Pros for us in July. That's on a Wednesday, and then Keelan's going to come back and race with us for the Michigan 300 race, ASA race in August. So, yeah, we're just really excited. We've got about a dozen really nice races this year.
And we just, with Chris Toms at Kinross Raceway Park, we just announced a date, the first ever Michigan's Upper Peninsula appearance by the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series. But you've got a great Outlaw Super Late Model Series right there at Owasso Speedway yourself, don't you?
Absolutely, we do. And Matt, I don't think we're supposed to show all of our cards, but I think you and I both love them Outlaw Super Late models. And between the Hammer Series, what Owasso has going on with our 5-race series, and then all your one-offs that have, you know, that pretty much spoils us. We got some great Outlaw Super Late model racing.
We're certainly blessed here, you know, in the great state of Michigan. The Wedge Body Warriors, you know, it's the home, you know, the home of Outlaw Super Late models. And between your series, the Hammer Series, you know, Kalamazoo Speedway with the Kalamazoo Clash, you know, we're really blessed, aren't we, to have such great shows?
We are, and your announcement you just made to bring those guys across the bridge and come up here in the UP to have a race up here, that's really pretty special.
It sure is. So when's opening night there at Owasso Speedway?
I believe, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I believe it's April 28th, 25th or 28th. It's the last Saturday in April is opening night. So.
25th, April 25th.
Yep, it's coming fast. So.
No doubt about it. Well, Rex, as always, thank you and Sarah for your wonderful support of the International 500 Snowmobile Race. I know you brought that Blake Childers guy with you. I think he's gotten smaller, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, his feet has it. He's got some big feet. But, no, Matt, this is an awesome group of people, the volunteers, the people that work so hard for this I-500. I would imagine Owasso Speedway is going to be some portion of a piece of this and supporter of this race forever.
We certainly appreciate it, Rex. Thank you so much. Go enjoy yourself. Rex Wheeler, owner and promoter of Owasso Speedway, joining us, our second Chippewa Motors plow break, as Spanky Robinson is getting ready to go for phase 2 here. And Spanky's going to be joined for at least the first part of it by, what was the word we used the other day?
No. We don't want to. She's got her shirt on that says trophy wife, but we called her a different name the other day because I think I'm getting Carson on my side, but
Yeah.
I'll talk with Carson later about
Mean
this.
Mom. That's what it was.
That's what it
Mean
was,
Mom.
yeah.
But in all seriousness, a great broadcaster in her own right, and she absolutely deserves to be up here in the Joe Bonez Memorial broadcast booth. Marcy FloRacing is going to call about 20, 25 laps of Spanky Robinson, then another 20, 25 with yours truly. As under my contract, I have to take a break after lap 100. So Spanky and Marcy is gonna take you through the next probably a half hour or so. So guys, take it away.
Oh, Marcy will get that headset on. Hey, Marcy.
Hey, Spanky, thank you so much for having me up here. What an honor to be up here next to you.
It's always an honor to announce it. We used to announce a little at the Myra Racing. And so what are your thoughts? Your thoughts on the start of the race, the day here overall? Your thoughts as we put 109 laps are in the books here as the plows are on the track.
Yeah, it's been a great day so far. I mean, obviously it was a little cold this morning, but there was just enough breeze here that kept that snow dust down. So it's been very beneficial for the drivers, not overly ideal for the spectators, but that sun is shining, and it's just been fantastic here already today.
What did you think? Troy DeWalt, he announced that this will be his last 500. His boy Zach set that Mickey's Factory sled on the pole and said to Dad, you're starting there, his final race here at the I-500.
Yeah, actually, it just gave me goosebumps. I've been saying for a couple of years, it'd be really cool to see those two drivers, father-son, ride on the same team. And they're backed up by James Hicks, who's a very solid driver as well. So definitely a stacked team for that 57. Feltsky Farms, Mickey's sled. Feltskys, speaking of them, good friends of mine, John and Mary, are here on the hill. I know Emily and Caleb are back home watching, and Thomas is also on the hill. Definitely a stout team, and definitely one to keep an eye on throughout the day.
You talk about stout teams in qualifying here leading up to the race here. You talk about James Hicks, a gentleman from down the Cedarville area, down your way. Mm-hmm. He qualified that second Mickey's Factory sled, the number 5, in second on the board. He had the second fastest time, so they scratched that machine, and James, of course, will jump on and on that machine with Zach. But talk about him being down in Cedarville, down your area.
Yeah, so James, he's a very good friend of mine. Him and Dustin actually raced their very first I-500 here in 2010. They had actually 4 or 5 different drivers aboard that sled and picked up a third for their very first race here. So James been doing this for 16 years now, has a lot of experience on the I-500, has been very successful, part of a lot of successful teams aboard that 57 sled. He's a stand-up guy, very smart driver, just overall a good person. And
now that you're behind the mic here, we're going to momentarily go down with John here down pit side. I'll hold that question. John Wicks with a special guest down there in the pits. You ready to go? What do you got, John?
Hello. I'm down in the 57 Mickey Factory Racing pit here. I got Troy DeWalt. Troy just ran the first 100 laps of this race. Troy, from what I seen, awesome job. What I'm wanting to know is, can you walk us around this track and kind of explain how different spots or rough spots or whatever?
Sure. Yeah, I had a ball. First of all, that was a pleasure to ride with my kid. I'm trying not to get choked up here, but that was a memory of a lifetime for me right there. But the track's pretty rough right away, and it's getting like grooves cut in the ice from where everybody coming in the same spot, so it'll lock you in like you're locked on train tracks. So you got to be really careful right now. I'm afraid it's going to catch somebody here sooner or later. But I was running a high line, trying to stay smooth, trying to stay out of the rough stuff. And then towards the end there, I started diming in the corner, going high in the middle, and then cutting to the bottom where there was cleaner ice and a smoother exit for me. So it was going good. Just trying to save the sled and keep her together for the boys here at the end, and they can go for it.
Well, all right. Well, had a job to do. At first 100 laps, you were running right up front the whole time. What can you tell everybody out on FloRacing? What is your future here at this track?
I'm hoping that was my final ride right there. And to do it with my kid is unexplainable.
that'll probably be it for me. If I can just stand by today, if they need me to get on the sled, I'll get back on. But at this point, I'm hoping my job is complete.
Well, Troy, what a way to go out if you did, and just your career here is unmatched, really. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. I had the privilege to watch that last 100 laps. I'm very appreciative.
Thank you, John. I don't know how to explain it. You know how it is running here like you have, and this is a very special place, and just time to step aside.
All right. Well, good job, and I'll send it back up to the booth.
Well, thanks, John. That was a fantastic interview. I'll tell you what, talk about a couple legends right there, Marcy. Boy, oh boy, how many, just taking a look here, Troy DeWalt, 3-time champion here. He sat on the pole 12 times. And John Wick, 4 times champion here. Those are 2 legends down there, and I tell you what, Troy, very emotional. What a special day. I just love it how Troy calls it my kid, and Zach calls it the old man when they're talking about each other. But I mean, how special is that to be running here today? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually got goosebumps just listening to him. He's so tough and gruff and, Iron Man out here on this track, but it just shows that we all have emotions and feelings, and that was definitely special for Troy here on this Saturday afternoon.
That's part of the racing family, that you see something like that. I know myself, my eyes were starting to get a little wet seeing the legend, Troy DeWalt there. But anyways, we continue on here. The graders have just about completed plowing. We may see some action down pit road.
So how Troy mentioned that it's getting kind of rough in certain areas. So I actually had a discussion about that. Some of the times when they're watering, it's really, really cold. So it feels like Dustin and I were kind of talking about this, is when you water when it's super cold, it doesn't always bond. So this ice is really chipping away because of the cold temperatures. It's chipping a little bit easier. So it's definitely causing ruts in the corners, coming into the bridge. You can really kind of see those sleds, the suspension, and catching air already. So.
I mean, it takes an incredible amount of time to build a race course. This group of volunteers here, just second to none, and they got an early start. They laid down a lot of ice. The conditions were good here in northern Michigan, and then we got 2.5 days of rain, pouring rain, and they kind of lost the track a little bit. But then they went right back to work and had to go at it again, and built up a good track here. Like you'd mentioned, the cold temperatures creates a different ice than the milder temperatures here. The pace sled's still out onto the track here as we're under. We had plow break here. We're under the caution. 112 laps completed. And you want to give us a rundown as they sit the top 20, Mars, please?
Yeah, currently we have the 57, the Mickey Factories Racing Polaris in first, and second is the 74 Bunky Racing Polaris machine. Third, the 28 of Nelson Racing. In fourth is the 67 of Who's Racing. In fifth is the 55 of Berkey Racing. In sixth is the 54 of the Heating Heritage Racing. In seventh is your Town Brothers, the number 2. In eighth is the 21 of the Cataract Collision Machine. In 9 is the Colbus Racing, number 8. In your top 10 is the 44, the WB Racing. In number 11 is the 23 Langus Racing. Currently sitting 12th is the 24 of Novak Motorsports. In 13 is the number 18 of Nelson Racing. Sitting 14th is the 41 of WC Racing. In 15 is the number 10 of Let's Go Racing. In 16 is the local machine of Puchet Racing, the number 13. In 17th is the 88 McCoy Racing. In 18 is the 77 Brownlee Boys Racing. In 19 is the 0 Erickson Racing. And rounding out your top 20 is the 00 of Fountain Racing.
Well, that's the top 20 here. After 113 laps, the plows just finishing off, cleaning up this track area, and we'll get back underway here. I got to mention your husband Dustin jumps on board as a rider on that Tommy Bauer number 19. He's got to be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, it's very special. Our team number is also number 19, so when he got asked to jump aboard that, he just felt like it was very fitting and special. So he gave them the go-ahead, and it all just kind of fell into place this year.
We'll wait and see. We may have some changes as these sleds maybe turn down pit road here and maybe top up with fuel or whatever. We'll have to watch and see if we get any action on pit road.
Yeah, so Spanky, we weren't even really sure that Dustin was actually going to be able to race this year. So he had a little scare in November. He had his appendix removed, and it actually ended up rupturing, and had to spend a week in the hospital. So he wasn't sure what his racing future was for the 2026 race season. So we're just happy that he's back to complete health and he's back out on the track.
Well, that's good news for sure here as we continue. We're under the caution here at the I-500. And I am joined, my name is Spanky Robinson. I'm joined by Marcy Furak, helping me out for some laps here. We're going to call the racing when we get back underway. What do you think? The crowd here, just everybody having a good old time. Nice, good-sized crowd here. Everybody keeping their spots on the banks, and your thoughts on the day?
Yeah, so you really see it all. So you have lawn chairs, you have coolers, you have sleds, you got fur hats, you got fur coats down here. I bet you that's warm there, Spanky. That's definitely the fur hat and fur coat there is something maybe I think I should invest in.
I just going to say, is that a little hint just in case Dustin's down in that Bauer trailer listening in? Is that a little hint?
I think I want a cheetah coat.
Oh my goodness. Wow. They said the North Shore Sports and Auto Pace sled still out there. We're under the Tour Oil caution here at the racetrack. In the 57th run of the I-500, 115 laps posted on the board, and showing as your leader that number 57 is Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris.
You know why we have a minute here? I better give a couple shout-outs. My mother-in-law is home watching my younger children, Lincoln and Marley. My mom is at home watching. My sisters are at home watching. So I just want to give a shout-out to all of them back at home watching here on Flow.
Well, that's very nice. You have to pay double babysitting duties, and your mom's at home looking after those two, and I'm having to babysit you and Dustin up here. So.
You're just lucky you're babysitting me early in the day. A buddy of mine actually picked me up on the way here just so Dustin and I didn't have two vehicles, and he told Dustin he was going to babysit me, and Dustin said, good luck with that.
I don't know if the boys heard it earlier, we did give you a shout-out, but I want a special shout-out to Ted Wolfgang, Isaac Wolfgang's dad. Ted helped us up in the booth here for many years. He's listening on Flow, and as well as John Nwick's dad, John Sr. He's down in Florida on board FloRacing. So, hello, John, and things are going well. We miss you up here in the Sioux.
Speaking of Florida, a friend of our, Dana Tour, is also down there watching. He said he was going to be watching poolside. Lucky him.
My understanding, I almost had to come north to get warm. Looks like we possibly maybe getting ready to get back underway here.
Yeah, you see Mark Today down there, kind of give him the signal. The cone's out on the track. The 1 to go signal as he waves that flag around.
North Shore Sports and Auto pace led 35 mile an hour is the pace speed that they lead these machines here. When we get back underway, Ryan McKaig is the first machine behind that North Shore Auto machine, so he may be your new leader here. We'll have to wait until they readjust the race monitor here.
You know, Spanky, I've kind of played a lot of roles here at the I-500 between race mom, race wife, I-500 queen, and in the announcer booth. I think I want to someday be the pace sled driver.
Well, you know what? You're surprising that you'll get to that spot. Work on it.
Yeah, I think I could pull some strings. What do you think?
I think you would be the first lady to run the pace sled. That'd be pretty cool.
Think I could run 35 mile an hour though?
I know that's the problem. That you might not qualify.
Yeah, I got a need for speed. I don't think I could go that slow.
You talk about that. It's funny talking with John Wick, the legend. Hey, he got 4 championships here. He got out there in the pace sled. And he told us honestly last night that he opened her up a bit on the back straightaway. They didn't see him, so like a kid, he pushed the throttle, reminding him of the old days here running down that back straightaway at the I-500. Pretty cool story.
And guess what? It's they're coming down the front stretch here. They're gonna go green again here after the first caution that we had for the plow break. Ooh, I'm excited.
That North Shore sled makes that turn down into the pit road, and we look now as Ryan McKeag leads them back. Look at the outside, the move on the outside, boy.
Zach Ewald.
Zach Ewald smashed the throttle, and he's got that Mickey's Factory 57 back out front. McKeag shuffled back to third, but it looks like that Hoos Racing 67 down on the inside as they fight it out down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Dewald just shot out of nowhere after the green flag came out, and does have a good healthy lead as he's already coming into fourth down here on the front stretch.
Here comes Zach Dewald on the outside of the track now, and we watched him in qualifying. He ran it down towards the inside and then took it out to the outside lane. We'll kind of watch what type of lane he's trying to pick here now. His first time out on the track today on that Felsky Farm sponsored 57.
Yeah, I imagine Troy was giving him some tips as he told us on the radio here what kind of conditions this track is, and you can kind of see him running kind of that outer side there, trying to stay out of those bumps.
Exactly, that's what happens. That information will be transferred from Troy and his son now, Zach. He sat it on the pole here. He was your pole sitter. Zach DeWald now on board that Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris. Currently your leader here after 118 laps. He comes down that front straightaway towards the bridge.
So most of these teams have done a driver change fuel. I'm sure they changed some carbides, maybe did some adjustments for some handling. But you know who is in second here, the Bunky Racing is doing pretty well.